Hair coloring is one of the most important lectures that you will have while you're in cosmetology. There are many learning objectives to this chapter. You should be able to know why people color their hair, how the hair's porosity affects their hair color, understanding the types of melanin that are found in the hair, be able to define and identify levels and their roles that they play in the formulation of hair color, know primary, secondary, and tertiary colors, know what roles the tone and the intensity play in the hair color process, list and describe the categories of hair color. You also need to be able to explain the role of hydrogen peroxide in hair color formulas, explain the action of hair lighteners, list the 5 key questions to ask a client or ask yourself when you're formulating a hair color, understand why it's important to complete a patch test and be able to know what a preliminary strand test is and why we use it. You also should be able to list and describe the procedure for a virgin single process color service, 2 processes involved in a double process hair color, the various forms and types of hair lighteners, the purpose and why we use toners, name and describe the 3 most commonly used methods for highlighting, know how to properly cover gray hair, know the rules of color correction, and know the safety of precautions to follow during the hair color process. Like I said, there are many things that you're going to need to learn in chapter 21. So we are going to break this down into several lectures. This is part 1. Nearly all adults and many teens now color their hair. You will probably find that most of your clients at some time or another will want to enhance their hair color, change their hair color, or just cover their gray. Clients who have their hair colored usually visit the salon every 3 to 12 weeks. These are the kinds of regular guests you want for your client base. Not only do these clients come in for color services, they also are going to receive cuts and styles. There are many different reasons why clients color their hair: to cover up or blend gray hair, to enhance the existing color, to create a fashion statement or a statement of self-expression, to correct unwanted tones, or to accentuate a particular haircut. Hair color is defined, one word, hair color, as a professional industry coined term referring to products and to services for artificially coloring the hair. When it's 2 words, hair and color, it refers to the natural color of hair. We need to review a few of the hair facts. The structure of the hair and the desired results determine which hair color you're going to use. So the cuticle is very important. It is the outermost layer and it contributes 20% of the overall strength. Your cortex is your middle layer and contributes 80% of the overall strength. And the medulla is the innermost layer, sometimes being totally absent. Then we also have the texture of hair. Coarse is the large hair strand diameter, medium is the medium diameter, and fine is the very small diameter. We also have density. Remember, that's the number of hairs in a square inch, and it refers to the thickness. One of the most important when you're talking about hair coloring is porosity. That's the ability of the hair to absorb moisture. Porous hair accepts hair color faster and permits a darker color than less porous hair. You have low porosity, which is resistant hair, average porosity, which is normal hair that accepts color in a normal time range. You have your high porosity, where your cuticle has been lifted and it processes much quicker. So you want to test for porosity before applying color. You also have to be able to identify natural hair color and tone. Melanin is found in the cortex. This is where the chemical change of hair color takes place. You have eumelanin and pheomelanin, and we talked about these in several other chapters. Eumelanin gives black and brown color, while pheomelanin gives blonde and red colors. Mixed means it's a combination of both eumelanin and pheomelanin. And then we have contributing pigment, also known as undertone. You have the level system, which is a unit of measurement. It identifies lightness and darkness on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the darkest and 10 being the lightest. You have to be able to identify natural level. You want to take a 1-inch square section of the crown area, match the swatch to the hair, and compare the strand to determine the level. A lot of times a client might come in and you look at their hair and they'll say, oh, my hair is black. When you put the swatch finder up to it, you might find that it's not a level 1 black, but that it's actually a level 3. Gray hair is when you have a loss of pigment and it increases with age. Most people retain a certain percentage of pigmented hair, but gray hair can be solid or blended and require special attention during hair coloring. You need to be able to determine the percentage of gray. Is it 50% gray, 25% gray, 70% gray, 90% gray? You want to make sure that you understand color theory. Color is the property of objects that depends on the light they reflect. It is perceived as red, green, blue, or other shades. Your base color is the predominant tone of the color. So let's make sure that we understand the law of color. The law of color is a system for understanding color relationships. When combining colors, you will always get the same result from the same combination. If we take equal parts of red and blue, it always makes violet. If we take equal parts of blue and yellow, it will make green. Equal parts of red and yellow make orange. So let's talk about the 3 types of colors. We have our primary colors. These are our pure colors. They are yellow, red, and blue. Yellow being the lightest and blue being the darkest. We have our secondary colors. These are combining 2 neighboring primary colors together. So equal parts of yellow and blue always make green. Equal parts of yellow and red always make orange. And equal parts of red and blue always make violet. These are called secondary colors. Now we're combining our primary color to our secondary color. So these are going to be yellow orange, yellow green, blue green, blue violet, red violet, and red orange. And that's because we have equal portions of a primary and a secondary color, and now we have made a tertiary color. We also need to understand complementary colors. You will be making a color wheel in class, and once you do that, this is going to make sense when you do your primaries, your secondaries, and your tertiaries. Then you will learn about complementary colors. This means combining 2 colors to neutralize an unwanted tone. Blue will always neutralize orange. Red will always neutralize green. And yellow will always neutralize violet. We're going to stop, and this is going to be part 1, chapter 21, lecture review.